Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and I just can't keep saying it. It feels good to be back. It really does. I have been enjoying it so much, filming these videos, whether it's these videos just me in front of the camera or the videos that I've been doing as of late with Tom, the podcast style videos. It has been awesome to get back here and to really get back here. Anyways, hey, today I want to share with you something. I want to do a bit of an unboxing. I haven't taken this thing out of the box just yet. And I want to do so with all of you on video. And it's also going to bring up, well, a few different things. But first, I want to share this with you. As I'm getting back into the swing of videos here, I'm super motivated, super inspired to come back kicking ass the whole way. But I'm also, for whatever reason, purchasing all sorts of crazy little prison memorabilia type of items. I just did the video about the most insane prison items that you can buy right now. And yeah, I've been buying some crazy items and also running across more items that would make for more videos like that. And I will make more videos like that. But as I've been buying prison items, I think I'm becoming more enthralled with the prison pop culture type of, like, I don't know. Somebody said, Joe, you need to turn your shed into a prison museum. And that's sort of something I'm doing, but more so what I feel like I'm doing is creating a prison cell. I think I'm so institutionalized and so burnt out, state struck, and miss prison so bad that out here in my shed, I'm literally creating a fucking prison cell. And if you don't believe me, like how real I mean that to be, I'm not being dramatic saying that. This item that I'm getting ready to share with you will showcase that a little bit. And I literally just went and bought this ginormous section of prison bars from a guy. And I'm going to create a prison cell out here and possibly get back to prison ASMR. I don't know. We're going to definitely be doing some skits. And this item I'm getting ready to share with you, yeah, my mouth is watering just thinking about getting back to these skits. Anyways, enough chit chat, folks. Let's do a little unboxing. Shit. I can't drop the... lens cleaner off. Folks, what I share with you is a box that we're getting ready to... we're getting ready to open together. Now, I know it looks like it's been opened, and it has a little bit, but I promise I haven't taken the contents of this box out. We're going to do that here in this video. I had to open this box because I had no idea what it was. It was super heavy. This box is very heavy. It feels like there's at least a cinder block inside of this box. And once I opened it and I saw what it was, I was like, oh shit, it came. It came. And I couldn't wait to get to this video right here. So here we are. Joe, what's inside of the box? What's inside of the box? What's in the box? If you've ever seen that movie, Seven, at the end of it, Brad Pitt, The Seven Deadly Sins, what's in the box? It was his wife's head, and she was, sadly enough, pregnant as well. What a sick movie. All right, so what's in the box? We got some cardboard. Let's go ahead and get that about. Oh, my God, we've got bubble wrap. That's a little ASMR. We might need to save that for an upcoming video. Oh, what the hell is this? This was in the tissue. And it's a little stiff. I'm kidding. I don't know. My wife was actually putting trash on top of this box. I was like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. So I think this is actually leftover trash, or maybe this was actually shipped inside of this box. What do y'all think that it is? Actually, judging by the title of this video, you probably already know. Anyways, let's go ahead and open this, folks. What it is this right here. Can you see that? Folks, what I have right here is a bona fide, real deal prison phone. Joe, go home. You're drunk. Joe, what the fuck are you doing with a prison phone? Well, I actually purchased this off of eBay. It was $90 and like $14 shipping and handling. It said that it was used, and boy, they weren't lying. Oh my God, that click. Oh my God, that sound. Woo, boy, hey. That sound right. Let's take this thing out of the box. Wow. Wow, folks. Look at this. Now, they said that this thing was used. Oh, my God. Look at the back. Oh, man. I want to mount this in my house, right? Like when I go to sell my house, because I really want to sell my house because it's becoming not so safe in my area. But anyways, I want this right here, man. It just, this brings me back. It really does. And man, when I tell you, that click right there, it almost sounds like a gun cocking. Woo, that sound right there. Can y'all hear that? If that sound don't bring you back right there, I don't know what does. So they told me this thing was used. We can see all of the dinginess on the receiver. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not. How dingy the receiver is. It is very dingy. It doesn't stink though. And you're probably wondering, Joe, what the fuck are you doing smelling the phone? Oh God, that sound. It almost gives me butterflies. Oh my God. That sound right there, man, you will never forget the sound of a prison phone hanging up or getting picked up. Do it like this. Do it like, hey, why the phone upside down on the receiver? I guess I'm going to call anyways. Hey, Mom. Yeah, you better not go picking that phone up. Somebody got that joint hanging upside down like that. Hanging like that. Oh boy, hey, there's a lot of different ways hanging like that. Oh my God. It's that sound that'll bring you back every time. This thing is heavy. This thing probably weighs about 20 pounds. I'm not even exaggerating. My arm is actually getting tired holding this. Oh shit. I should make a whole video of just prison phone clicks. ASMR. We're sorry. The number you're trying to... No. I cannot wait to use this. Oh my God. So to get... I got so ADHD right there to get back to me sniffing the phone. You ever use the prison phone just to pick that thing up and... Oh my God! Who had this phone? Who had this phone? You need to order 14 tubes of toothpaste when we go to commissary. Yeah, you do. You better order that. You better order it. Notice how you've got the loud settings right here. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Let's hit the buttons. Whew. Dudes will hit that joint like they're an accountant. Waiting for that money to hit on that phone. Yeah, they will, man. So I mentioned how dingy the receiver is. A lot of dirt around the top of the hanging updo. Lot of dinginess around the buttons as well. This phone really should be cleaned. Just think of all the calls that were made on this phone. Did you send that? You didn't. Why? Why? Hey, yo, hey. Boy, this joint bring me back right here. It's funny to think that for 6 years I've been doing After Prison Show and I'm literally just now getting one of these. You would imagine I would have had one of these a long time ago, but for whatever reason, I didn't. And now I do. And man, I don't miss this at all. As a matter of fact, as much butterflies is giving me listening to this hang up and pick up, it's also making me a little sick to my stomach thinking how many times I used to try to pick up one of these inside of a prison or jail only to receive bad news or to have a call not get answered or to hear good news that was taking place out there in the free world and you're not out there to experience it. Because once that phone hangs up, you're back inside those walls. For that 15 minutes, however much that 15-minute phone call would cost you, whether you got a Google number for 99 cents, you're able to make a phone call. When I was in prison, we were able to get those Google numbers and beat the system a little bit. But if you didn't have that Google number, you were paying upwards of $15, $30 a phone call. Like maybe the average was like 20 bucks a phone call. I ask all of you, how much is it to make a prison phone call where you are or when you serve time where you were? It ain't cheap. And your loved ones are the ones out there footing that bill unless you got you a job up in prison making 15 to 45 cents an hour, maybe upwards of 85 or $1.05 an hour. And you're putting that money on the phone yourself so that you can call home and hear your kid's voice on their birthday. My God, it feels so good to hear. Whew, I was almost about to use my son's name in reference, but I'm not even going to knock on that. Not even going to paint that picture. Acting like I'm in prison to make a phone call to talk to my son. We'll go ahead and hang that idea up right there, right now. Y'all let me know how much it cost when you were locked up to make that phone call. Feeling how heavy this thing is right here. Like I said, this thing weighs about 20 pounds. It felt like a cinder block inside of the box. This bitch is heavy. If you were able to get this up off of the wall, this is a deadly weapon right here. This too. You ever seen somebody get beat over the head with one of these? You ever seen a prisoner start smashing this because they got that bad news over the phone? That girl done found Jody out there? Start smashing this if you want to and see if the next one right beside you don't start getting smashed over your head. I got to put it down, right? Anyways, I've got big ideas for this right here. Not only the skits, not only dressing up the background and making my prison cell out here in this shed. You know, I thought about some things, right? I thought about actually doing like a social experiment, taking this out in public and acting like this was my cell phone. Hey, girl, gosh almighty, what you wearing? What you wearing? Spandex. You got the Spanx on. Yeah, hey, I'll get with you in a minute. Hey, hold on. I ain't got but 15 minutes on this call, right? Dressing up like a prisoner, going out in public, trying to get reactions. That's the type of shit that will win these days. I've been watching TikTok. I should know. Let's go ahead and put this thing down. It's quite heavy. It's interesting that I share that with, you know what? Forgive me. This lens is $1,000 right here. So the whole camera setup's $4,000. You thought I had a freaking red or something the way that I'm treating this. Interestingly enough, I'm caring this much about the camera quality this late in the game, but folks, I'm revitalized with a renewed sense of purpose here. It's interesting that the phone arrived, and it was just yesterday, as a matter of fact. It wasn't even my intention to film anything other than a reaction video of me unboxing this. But it was interesting that just yesterday I ran across an article that I want to share with y'all here that is all about the prison phone. And more importantly, prison phone calls. While looking for prison memorabilia last night, I ran across a legitimate prison wallet. Yeah, that's right. Folks, if you know anything about a prison wallet is not necessarily that thing that fits up inside. It's not necessarily the billfold that goes in your back pocket. No, a prison wallet is actually your prison suitcase. Your Junes, you give them a drift right there. The prison wallet is a hiding place of sorts. A bodily cavity. You know what I mean? That's what a prison wallet is, or that's what the term prison wallet oftentimes means in prison. But I legitimately ran across a legitimate prison wallet, something that was actually made by a prisoner. This right here. And this shit is dope as hell. This is a real prison wallet. And in fact, they don't even call it a prison wallet right here because they know better. They call it an inmate-made wallet, not a prison wallet, because that is something totally different. But folks, look at this thing. This thing is actually made out of newspaper. This shit looks like it's Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Balenciaga, even though that's such a taboo thing these days. But look at this joint. When I saw this, it was running across this item that they only wanted $50 for. The price has been slashed in half from $100 to $50. It was posted 3 years ago. It's probably not available anymore, but it was the fine print, literally on the newspaper, that this wallet was made out of that let me know that there was such a thing as the San Quentin News. So I went and I looked up the San Quentin News, and it was there where I ran across this article. Newsom signs bill expanding free phone calls for California prisoners. What? What you mean free phone calls for prisoners in California? I mean, that's exactly what the title of this article states. This article came out on December the 6th, 2022, just last year, just last month. In this San Quentin Prison News is where I ran across this after I ran across a real prison wallet being referred to on OfferUp as an inmate-made wallet. You can see how this rabbit hole gets quite deep. But what you mean they getting ready to have free phone calls in California when I know damn good and well here in my state of Virginia, a prison phone calls every bit of 15, 20, probably more dollars each call. You know, when you're serving time, it's oftentimes heard, at least in my state, you let me know if you've heard this in your state, you would hear things like, well, if the Fed does it, if they do it in the Fed system, they're going to do it in the state system. And as a matter of fact, I think, I could be wrong about this, but I want to use like smoking as an example. Maybe they quit smoking or banned cigarettes in the federal system first, and that trickled down to the state system. If they do it in the feds, they're going to do it in the state. It's a prison myth, so to speak. But if they do it in California, you think they're going to do it across the nation? California prisoners will be able to make free phone calls to family and friends effective January 1st, 2023. Can you imagine New Year's Day? Just a mere couple of days ago, I think that was on Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday. Can you imagine what it was like to wake up in a California prison, knowing how much you've been trying to get in contact with your loved ones, but you don't have money on your phone and the phone calls are too expensive to be able to do so. And all of a sudden you wake up on New Year's Day, a brand new year, new me, new phone. Who dis? I was about to use my cell phone. What the fuck are you doing? Hold on. Bitch, what you mean, who dis? It's me. And I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Yeah, you haven't been trying to answer this call, nor put money on the phone. Well, bitch, January 1st marks a brand new year and a brand new time in prison where phone calls are actually free. It's so good to hear your voice. Please don't hang up. She did, though. Without going any further into this article, not even sure if they'll make mention of this, I'm quite certain that even if the phone calls are free, you still have to have those calls and those numbers approved by the party on the outside. And you got to keep this in mind too. This is such a double-edged sword right here. As good of a thing as this is also a bad thing as well. See, it is absolutely tit for tat. Yeah, it might cost you $26 in the Virginia DOC to make you a phone call in prison, but guess what? Not everybody can afford that. I mean, a lot of prisoners can because a lot of prisoners are balling in prison. They got them pen pals. They got them pen pals sending that. They also got them prison hustles as well and possibly a prison job. But not everybody's getting up on the phone in the Virginia DOC, right? So even though there may be a line and you may have to wait some time to be able to make that call, can you imagine what them lines in California about to be like? To try to get on that phone. Hey, can I get next on? Hey, who got next on the phone? Oh, okay. Yeah, hey, let me get next. Next Monday. You might have to wait. You might have to, it might be like taking some vacation time at work. You might have to get that shit approved for real. You might have to put your 2 weeks in to get up on that phone. I don't know. I've seen pictures that make it look like they got a lot of phones up in the housing units in prison. Look at this shit. It looks like a freaking bus stop. All those damn payphone booths right there. All those little mini jack shacks right there in the housing unit. Yes, indeedy. California prisoners, they can make free phone calls January the 1st. We read that. That is thanks to SB 1008. I don't know if there's a better way that you're supposed to say that. The Keep Families Connected Act. Where they do that at? California. Oh, that's right. The same state that's going to make gas-powered vehicles illegal by, 2030, and then you can't charge your car because they ain't got enough their energy. Yeah, California. Keep doing you. Anyways, signed into law September 29th by Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, I'm cracking some jokes here, but make no mistake of it, I fully support this. I think this is great to allow prisoners to make free phone calls to their loved ones. I mean, prisons are profiting off of everything else, especially in my state. How crazy is it that in California, you get free phone calls, but in my state, they don't even have real visits anymore. You got to pay for visitation in my state now. So you think they're getting a free call? Fuck no. But it's great to see, at least in one state, maybe others will follow suit. You know, they're realizing, you know what, we're making a shit ton of money off of these prisoners, and we've been so forever. I mean, the least we can do is throw them a bone and give them some free calls. This picture right here, there's a caption of it. It says, North Block's phone booths may soon get even more crowded. The passage of SB 1008 will provide incarcerated persons statewide with expanded free access to telephone calls. California families spend an estimated $68.2 million every year on phone calls with the incarcerated, said Worth Rises, a nonprofit working to dismantle the prison industry. I like that. Let's dismantle this bitch. The ability to call your partner, children, or friends to instantly share your joys or sadnesses is something most of us take for granted, said the author of the bill. Phone contact is strictly controlled and expensive, he added. They visited San Quentin's Garden Chapel in August to share his new bill with graduates of the Guiding Rage into Power Group, a program that helps prisoners put its name into practice. Guiding Rage into Power. Putting the name into practice. Now that you've done your job, I need to do my job, Beckner told the San Quentin audience. I have a bill this year to have free prison phone calls. We should not be charging you by the minute, by the picture, by the email, by the video calls. Other states, please take notice of what they're doing in California. The bill is designed to prohibit a county, city, or state agency from receiving revenue for the provision of state communication services to persons in its custody. The state will foot the bill for any contracted service provider of phone calls in prison. It is not clear how cities or counties will respond to Beckner's bill. So if prisoners aren't paying for the phone calls, who is? I mean, what are they really paying for anyway? You're just paying for a phone service, like an internet service up in the prison. It can't really be all that expensive. Think about companies like GTL, Global Tel-Link, which is GTL actually, and any of the Securus, any of the other phone service providers, JPay. Hey, this is going to be a hit to the bottom line for 2023, I can promise you. California got a shitload of people locked up too. A lot of prisons. It's expensive out there. Will this raise any personal property tax? Possibly. If we've had to allot money for this, can you imagine what a resident of California who could care less about prisoners getting free phone calls, watching their personal property tax go up, thinks about this? They probably are fucking disgusted. $68.2 million a year is what loved ones are spending? Well, where does that money go to? The CEOs and, the execs of these prison phone service providers? We're going to have some gappage of money we got to make up for if we're giving free phone calls, right? Because maybe one hand washes the other. Hey, we charge for these phone calls, and it's these phone calls that help pay the salaries of the correctional officers, or maybe just line the pockets of the wardens and, the corporate folks. But if that money is actually being used, to help daily operations of the prison system, well, fuck. If they're not getting it from the phone calls now, well, they're going to get it from you. You're going to pay it one way or another, whether it's your loved one who's calling or at the end of the year when you got to pay that personal property tax. I don't know if they have personal property tax in California, sales tax, things of that nature. I'm just curious. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Again, I support this 100%. I think all prison phone calls should be free. I mean, for the love of God, you're charging so much for everything else after all. Not to mention all the money you get from the government per inmate, per year, per day, all that good jazz. Here's an interesting part to mention. According to the senator who actually proposed this bill, predatory phone companies make an estimated $1.4 billion in the prison telecom industry. Worth Rises estimates 1 in 3 families fall into debt trying to remain in contact with loved ones. 87% of the burden falls on women, particularly women of color, according to the nonprofit. The fact is, most people are going to get out, and we want them to be connected with their loved ones. Becker, the senator who wrote this bill, told the rehabilitation groups, graduates, and the Daily Journal. We want to maintain these bonds so when they get out, they have that support network and they're less likely to go back into our prisons, go back into our jails. And that's good rationale and reasoning behind this. California has the highest numbers of prisoners serving life sentences in the country, 3 times as many as Texas, which is crazy, though Texas is 25% larger geographically. I did not know that, actually. That's news to me. You learn something new every day. I mean, California just looks big as a bitch. You're telling me that Texas is 25% bigger than California? Shit. As of August 2022, there are 25,381 prisoners serving life sentences in California. California also has the 3-strike rule. Let's keep that in mind. Not all of these are murderers, serving life for murder. It could be you got caught 3 times stealing bubble gum out the convenience store and ended up with life. New York became the first major U.S. city to provide free phone calls for the incarcerated, followed by San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles. Massachusetts and Kentucky are now pushing for the same legislation. Other states are starting to follow suit. There is also a similar bill in the U.S. House of Representatives. The success of this bill, according to Becker, was largely due to impacted families and community members and people who suffered from isolation while in state prison. I got to read that again. The success of this bill, according to Becker, was largely due to impacted families and community members and people who suffered from isolation while in state prison. That really just sounds like you proposed this bill maybe during campaigning, elections, and you got elected. I know that that's not the case. It almost makes you feel like, and if you elect me, it's going to be free phone calls for the incarcerated. I don't think you would win an election just based on that. Hey, I think it's a great thing. I'm really curious to know what all of you think about this. All of these other states that they mention are, the rumors are starting to bubble about this. How long will it take before this is actually a real thing in those states? It's almost like legalizing marijuana. Look how long that took. It took a long time. It's actually legal in my state, surprisingly enough. We got legal marijuana, but we don't got free phone calls. They didn't even mention Virginia. And finally, I leave you with one thing again, and that is, can you imagine being in a state knowing how much you're spending on these phone calls and just thinking about them folks over in California making all the free phone calls in the world? One more time. What do you say? Yeah. I know, girl. Gosh, I know. You 1 minute left on the call? You want me to call you right back? You want me to call you right? You goddamn right, girl. I'm about to call you right back. These calls is free now. Oh, your brother still locked up in Virginia? Tell him I said RIP to the phone bill. I'm gonna call you right back. Now you can't get next. Go get back underneath that bunk and I'll tell you when to come out. And make me a cup of coffee too, bitch. Yeah, I'm here, girl. Yeah. I don't even know why we got 15-minute calls now, if they free. Little rough around the edges with the skits, but I promise I'll get back in the swing of things. A couple of things to consider as I leave. I can't imagine you're not getting a 15-minute call. I still imagine calls are going to be limited to 15 minutes. And I also got to imagine that there's probably going to be a cap on the amount of calls that you can make back to back. Sort of like in the federal system. Federal system, you only get X amount of minutes per month, like 300 minutes a month or some shit like that. If y'all know better, let me know better. And you definitely ain't making a phone call back to back in the federal system. I don't know if that's already a thing in California, but I got to imagine if it's not, it's going to be. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!